Boys, hold your fire because we're going to go straight across to the man who broke the big story tonight on 9 Media on 3AW and The Age. Sam McClure is with us in the studio. Sam, take it away because it's a big story with Damien Hardwick.
It certainly is, and the Gold Coast Suns. And what we're calling this, Eddie, tonight is the Italian job, because that is what is being done right now by Mark Evans, the CEO of the Gold Coast Suns. Amazing in the post-COVID era where multi-billion-dollar companies are having board meetings via Zoom. Mark Evans has flown overnight into Milan, and then south of that is a little town, which you can see here, beautiful town on the Riviera in Italy, where I think Eddie was a couple of weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken, where Damien Hardwick and his partner are currently holidaying. This is how serious the Gold Coast Suns are about trying to get Damien Hardwick to be coach of their football club from next year. Cinque Terre is actually Italian for 5 towns, and Mark Evans does not want to be leaving there without a 5-year contract signed, sealed and delivered from Damien Hardwick.
So it's a Cinque contract.
The Cinque contract, exactly right. 5 years for Damien Hardwick. Now, I want to take you back a few weeks ago when Trent Cotchin was playing his 300th game for the Richmond Football Club. This vision went everywhere, didn't it, on the host broadcaster at the time. It's the who's who of Richmond. We know some of the big names there, KB, Mick Moldhouse. How about the man sitting behind Damien Hardwick? He was a former Richmond captain, played a lot of football in Wayne Campbell. Guess who he is now? He is the head of football at the man that coach is going to be new to, and that is the Gold Coast Suns. I just thought I'd bring that up because I thought about it at the time. If they really wanted him, I wonder if those two discussed a potential job prospect.
And Sam, we'll join a few other dots as well, because Paul Connors, one of the leading sports agents, and Robbie D'Orazio, they have players up at the Gold Coast. Noah Anderson, Ben King, Rory Atkins, Ben Ainsworth, just to name a few. They are also the management group of Damien Hardwick. There's been a really strong association between that group to help the Gold Coast Suns. This is a beautiful coming together of the team. Gun players want a gun coach, and his name is Damien Hardwick. And
the biggest question for me, and Damo, you might know more about this than us, but how much of his contract will be funded by ambassadorial money that the AFL will give to the Gold Coast Suns? It was certainly talked about a couple of years ago when Alistair Clarkson's name was mentioned. I can tell you one thing. Whatever money Alistair Clarkson was offered by the Gold Coast and the AFL, it'll be the same, if not more,
Damo, this smacks
to Damien Hardwick.
The memory for me of talking to Lee Matthews before he took the Brisbane Lions job, and people had said to him, and his close confidence said, you have to have an ambassadorial role because this is bigger than just a coaching role. And it's the same here. And the AFL should be paying him, to be perfectly honest, because he needs to turn up and do it.
Well, given for the same footy club, the AFL paid $1 million of Carmichael Hunt's contract as a player going back 10 years. I would imagine that would be the starting point for the Damien Hardwick number.
What do you think about this, Lloydie?
I think it's wonderful because I know their 4th coach in their tenure, Guy McKenna, Rodney Eade, Stuart Dew, but they've never had a premiership coach. I know it doesn't guarantee you anything, but he's straight out of the game and current. Sam, I want to ask you, is he flying there because they haven't got him over the line yet, or you're saying he will coach the Gold Coast?
There was a conversation via phone hookup last week with Damien Hardwick and members of the Gold Coast Suns. He's clearly interested. For me, this is the Gold Coast, Eddie, and you would know this because you've done it, are saying we are serious about this. We have been a failure of a football club, and I mean that respectfully. They've never played finals in the club's history. We're not waiting for this guy to come back in the country.
And
so
you don't do these things over Zoom. You go there, you sit there with him for a couple of days. You might have a drink while you're sitting there, but you go through, right, here's what we need to do, here's what we can provide, what do you want, do those things. You can do things over Zoom, but face-to-face is the way you close these deals.
Pretty nice place to do it as well, Ed.
Well, there's always that. No doubt about it. Sam, congratulations on breaking the story. We'll hear you tomorrow night on 3AW and also read your stuff in The Age tomorrow, and thanks for being on Footy Classified.
Thanks, Ed.
9 Media's Sam McClure breaking the big story tonight. Damien Hardwick, 5. Say it again, 5 years. He's going to go to the Gold Coast Suns.